Hi everybody and welcome back to HobbyWire. I'm Scott Hards and this is...
Brian Keeney.
Still Brian Keeney.
Still the same old Brian Keeney, yeah.
We're back in our old digs.
Yep, together.
Yeah, and we are not wearing masks. You didn't need to be told that, I'm sure. But got them handy. Mine's just off camera. We're recording this as the pandemic starts to roar out of control in places like the United States and Brazil. Things are pretty calm here in Japan. We're wearing masks, you know, when we're outside of recording a podcast. But please, everybody, stay safe. A lot of scary news stories out there.
Yes.
And just please wear a mask. Keep your distance and avoid crowds.
Right.
So, let's get back into the modeling stuff, shall we?
Modeling stuff.
You know, the first 4 episodes we did, well, I think our first episode we had a lot of stuff to do, but to be perfectly honest, because of the impact of COVID-19, the last 3 episodes, we've kind of been scraping for stuff to talk about.
Yeah, waiting for stuff to come in.
But this episode, we actually had to drop a few items because we've got so much stuff to talk about.
Starting to roll in, right?
And not only the products that we've actually got here that we're about to show you, that are hot off the, not the presses, but hot out of the injection molds.
Yes.
We've actually got some exciting news that just came from Tamiya about new stuff that they're going to do. I think these were some announcements they were probably hoping to make at the Shizuoka Hobby Show. Right. Rest in peace, Shizuoka Hobby Show 2020, for reasons that everybody understands, I'm sure. But Tamiya has announced some exciting new stuff, which is going to be coming out later this year. Very few details on this stuff. We just know subject matter, but they put some signs and some samples of some of the products in their Shimbashi store. They actually have a small retail store in Tokyo, and they put some stuff up there as an announcement. And they are going to be doing a new version, the Series 2 version of the Lotus Super 7. That's the Caterham Super 7? Yeah. So we have a new version of that coming in 1/24th scale. And more interest perhaps to the most of the modelers on this show who would like to watch our show. 35th scale Panzer IV Aus F. And a Marder 1.
Marder 1?
What do you think?
That's some cool stuff. Yeah.
Isn't there like a million Panzer IVs already? Or am I just not following my Aus close enough?
There has been a run on them recently. A lot of people are doing the Panzer IVs. Tamiya did a Panzer IV, of course, eons ago. So Tamiya has not had a recent Panzer IV Aus F. So it's good to see one coming from them because it'll be easy to build. The detail will be fine. And, you know, it's Tamiya. So
it's Tamiya, yeah. It kind of speaks for itself there.
Yes.
And they're also doing a 12th scale Honda CBR 1000 RR-R Fireblade SP, which is a very fast motorcycle. Which
12th scale?
12th scale, yep. 12th scale standard motorcycle, 12th scale stuff. So those are all going to be coming at some point later this year.
Sweet.
Yeah, some pretty exciting news from Tamiya.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Panzer IV. I like the short 75mm barrel version. It's kind of cool, and Panzer Gray is always cool. Panzer Gray.
Yeah. So that's a gray one.
Yeah, that's a gray one.
Okay.
Sweet.
So it doesn't have the cool shirtsons on the side?
No, I don't think. As early war stuff, they didn't figure out. Getting blown up wasn't fun. So.
Well, for fans of shirtson, we've got like sort of the ultimate shirtson coming up later in today's episode. Yes. So stay tuned for that. All right, well, let's get started. And while we're on the topic of Tamiya, let's do the latest from Tamiya.
Hey.
Ta-da! Boom. We have the brand new Ford Mustang GT4. A Japanese company doing an American car. This is not actually that
now that
common.
You mention it.
This is not that common. Yeah.
No, it's not.
So yeah, this is the GT4. GT4 series is kind of like the lowest level, international series. There's a whole bunch of different sports cars, basically street cars that have kind of been souped up a bit, that have been homologated for GT4 use. I'll take a quick look at the kit. Of course, the Mustang, goes without saying, this is a classic American sports car. And it looks like this is a reasonable kit in terms of parts. I say that because the last Tamiya car kit I built was that Lexus LFA, and that had 8 gazillion parts and took me months to complete. But we only have 3 runners of major parts here.
This is curbside, yeah? There's no engine detail, or not much top of the engine?
Yeah, we've got some top of the engine detail right there. But yeah, that's typical for modern vehicles, is that you open the hood and you can see usually the manufacturer's logo on a little elf.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it looks like all the detail you're going to need and want is here and ready to go. Straightforward Mustang GT4 version. So yeah. It's nice to see brand new, all new tools from the good folks at Tamiya for something as exciting as the Ford Mustang. Okay, that's my first offering. What do you got for us?
All right, well, we got a lot of stuff here. Let me see, which one should I go for first? We were talking about Schürzen and all that, so why don't I do the ultimate Schürzen type stuff here? Of course, in modern parlance, this is a slat armor. You can see it's made of slats here. Before I get that far, though, this is the British FV 510 Warrior TESH AIFV, Scott.
That's a lot of letters, Brian.
It is indeed. And well, let's do the rundown here. British, you know, Britain, British. That's where that's from. This is the number of the vehicle. Warrior. You gotta have a nickname. Yeah.
Sounds like Bradley.
Yeah, and you know, Warrior's kind of a scary, formidable name. You know, the mosquito, that kind of stuff. But we got Warrior here coming at you. And here we go. TES. Now, if you remember back from the last
You told us what did this stand for?
Which also had slat armor. That stands for Theater Entry Standard.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to have a standard when you're entering the theater, or else you're going to just be, you know, out. So you have to have that. And the H in this case stands for Herrick, because I don't know if it's in a lot of cases, but a lot of the times the British will put a letter or a name on something for one of the operations that he carried out in the war. Like in Afghanistan, they had Operation Herrick, and apparently this guy was a big player in that. So this is the TESH for
So this, obviously, I'm thinking is less weight than like a Panzer IV Schürzen.
Yeah, because it's not solid, and
solid
and you can like sort of see through it, I guess, if you needed to. Or there's no window. Oh yeah, there actually are some places to see and shoot out, actually on the side here. You know, it's a similar vehicle to the U.S. Bradley and some other similar. What is that? The AIFV Armored Infantry Fighting Vehicle.
So are these all one part? What's this?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Oh yeah, right in the top of the box here. Boom. There's all
the slat armor.
There's all those slats.
Yep, and it's that's nicely detailed.
Yeah.
It's not sometimes in some kits you might see the slat armor, and it's since it's plastic, just the limitations of the molding process are pretty fat. Okay, it's got the link
bag o' tracks.
Link tracks that you have. Now, are these workable? These may very well be workable, but
I don't see any holes.
It's probably not workable.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any holes to link them together, so I'm guessing that these are not workable.
No, it says workable. Workable,
it does say workable?
Movable suspension, workable parts, and a track assembly jig.
Excuse me.
Yes, and a metal barrel. Fine PE parts. And road wheel painting masks, because as Scott has found out, I think in the past, that doing all those road wheels
road wheels can kind of wear you down after a while.
Daunting. I'm kind of digging. Is this gray? This is light gray. This is kind of a cool
it's like a
light grayish
light gray. Yeah.
Plastic.
Yeah. Here's the barrel and some photo etch parts here.
PE photo etched. Yep. So swank kit from the folks at Meng. Did they say this is? Do we even mention that this is from Meng?
Yeah,
this is from Meng. Our fine partners.
Now, do they have the non-slat armor version of this already available?
No, this is first.
This is the first.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that's a good question. I wonder if it can be built with or without the slat armor.
Or is there a non-slat armor version
that's
of
another
this
good
vehicle?
question. British armor, modern British armor, knowledgeable individuals out there who want to chime in. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
so
it's
it is
definitely
cool.
a unique appearance.
Yes, a lot of parts, fun to build. Modern British armor, Theater Entry Standard.
All right. Well, I will see your tank and raise you a tank. We're going to do another tank here.
Okay.
This is from Ryfield model, another fine Chinese manufacturer.
You love Ryfield.
With their Sherman kit, now with full interior.
That's right.
And I'm thinking, wow, this is really heavy. I mean, the box itself is typical kit size, but this is heavy. There's like...
Lord have mercy.
By the way, let's keep track of our Sherman versions here, shall we? This is an M4A3 76WHVSS, which means...
the W, 76 millimeter. W means wet storage. They put they're not bullets, the shells. Yeah, the shells were in some sort of a gelatin type wet thing, so when they blew up, it wouldn't ronson itself, you know?
Ah, okay.
And the HVSS is horizontal volute suspension system. So it's got the horizontal springs instead of the vertical springs on the old Shermans.
But holy cow, look at... Well, this is the tracks.
This is tracks.
And this is like, I think, literally more parts than I've ever seen for any tracks ever. On anything ever.
And I've heard that this kit actually, the tracks per link are more parts per link than the real tank.
Oh my goodness!
So what is a lot of parts? It's workable.
I'm trying to figure. What is it like? 6 or 7 pieces per link or something?
Yeah, 6, I believe, because you got the the drag horn, and then you got the 2 pads on top, 2 pads on the bottom, and then the pins, which is a single piece for 2 track links. So yeah, 6. 1, 2,
times
3, 4, 5, 6
80?
times 84 or 78 or something like that. A lot.
Oh, well.
Set aside a couple weekends.
It's home quarantine time. You've got plenty of time to.
That's right, and kind of get a Zen thing going. Just putting the tracks together, tracks.
Wow. Okay.
Knowing when to stop is probably.
But yeah, the thing is, okay, we got past our track link jokes,
right.
but it's just like runners of parts just keep coming out of the box here. And it's like, where does it end, Brian?
When they say full interior, they mean it's that.
I mean,
it's the fighting compartment, the turret, even the engine compartment, everything in there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's got it all.
6, 7,
Yep,
8,
engine.
9, 10, 11, 12. There's like 13 or 14 runners with this. Of course, they have the hull and the turret as well. But
Those are the
oh
easy
my
ones. Yeah.
lordy.
Yeah, this
is
is
a
probably.
project.
It's probably safe to say this is the definitive kit of the Sherman in any scale. Tons and tons of parts. So if you're just a detail freak and want to have the absolute highest level of detail, then this is the Sherman kit for you. And time, if you have a lot of time too, because it's going to take some time.
Just for the sake of discussion, if you were on the other end of the spectrum, which is kind of what I consider myself to be, more of a, I just want to get it done. It looks like a Sherman.
Yeah.
Whose kit would you want to do if it was just a quick and easy Sherman?
I'd do the Tamiya.
Tamiya?
Yeah, they have the same version of this. Just
Really?
no interior, belt vinyl tracks, looks great. So it's great, but if you want the detail, then you can. This.
We got some photos on the side of the box here of all the interior detail, and it's quite impressive.
Awesome.
So
you've
got
this,
choices.
Yeah, build this, and you will know everything there is to know about the Sherman tank.
Alrighty.
Sweet.
Your turn.
Okay, well, we've done some tanks in a row. Should we keep? Okay, let's just keep with tanks for now, and we can branch off into other stuff later.
Alrighty.
Here's a very large tank, a large-headed tank.
I know this one. That's a KV-1.
Looks like it. Looks like it. I don't know if the... No, that would be Russian guys, wouldn't it? They wouldn't. But yeah, it's the similar idea. Put a really big gun and a really big turret on a standardized chassis. So this is, if you know what this is. By the way, this is from Amusing Hobby, our friends at Amusing Hobby. And it is, what is the name of it? It is the FV 4005 Stage 2 self-propelled gun. It was supposed to be like an anti-tank tank. Basically, it's a 183 millimeter massive gun.
Yeah, if you get a hit with that, I don't think there's any armor that's going to probably be able to deflect that.
What do they call this? I think it was nicknamed the JS killer because the Russian J, the big heavy armor. ISJS, depending on your preference there. So I think they made 2 of these. The whole thing weighed about 50 tons, based on the Centurion chassis, the British Centurion, which soldiered on for decades. The classic modern British tanks, but they wanted to do something, have something ready to stop those big JS or IS tanks from coming over, so they made this. They tried to make it.
But then they're like, nah.
Yeah, but I did some quick reading on it. I don't know if it was just because the whole thing was too heavy, or the gun didn't perform as they thought it would, or just other weapons were coming online at the time in the 50s that you really didn't need to have this much metal out in the field to stop it. So, but it sure makes a good kit, and I think it became popular recently with the World of Tanks game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as a lot of kits are, and Amusing Hobby is really on the World of Tanks bandwagon there. If something cool comes out, boom, you got a kit of it. So let's see what we got aside here. I know this also has. Well, it's got workable link tracks. We got a little bag of them, a little less daunting.
Holy cow! What?
That's the turret.
What were they putting inside of that? The gun was that big.
It's 183 millimeter, so it's got that, and a huge
big
breech. And apparently, this is it's got the working tracks. Here's the hull, like a little nice box.
This puts the KV-1 block to shame too.
Yeah. What else am I looking at here? Not tires. The wheels. It's got photo etched parts, workable tracks, and workable suspension, and side skirts, and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, this looks like a good kit, and I think the Amusing kits that I built so far, it's a good compromise isn't the right word, but it's a good blend of really good detail, but not too many parts. It's not
too fiddly.
Yeah, not too fiddly. Yeah, and it's like you could actually see the light at the end of the tunnel when you start building it. It's like, okay, I can finish this, and it turns into a good kit. So this is pretty cool. There's some interesting things on the side there. Yeah, workable tracks and all that good stuff from Amusing Hobby, the
alrighty
super tank thingy.
All right, enough tanks.
Tanks. We're done. We are actually done with tanks.
We're tanked out. We're tanked out.
Armored out here.
My turn. We're gonna go. We're gonna go to airplanes now because I'm an airplane nut. And ta-da! We've got a brand new Wildcat. Yes, this is in 72nd scale from Arma Hobby, and this is the FM2 version, which was the General Motors built version from later in the war when Grumman kicked over to doing F6F production. They still liked, they had the escort carriers, which the F6F couldn't really land on very easily, so they wanted to keep the F4F production going. And so they upgraded the F4F Wildcat into the FM2. I believe they were all built by General Motors. The biggest visual cue difference is the higher tail fin to counteract the increased torque of the new engine. But yeah, this is a very simple kit, but the detail looks absolutely outstanding. It's kind of hard to see maybe on the video, but the panel line engraving on the all the detail, because the F4F had a lot of bumps and stuff on the wings. But all of the panel line engraving, also on the fuselage parts here, all looks excellent. Yeah, the engine detail, everything about this is almost appears to be like 48 scale level of detail. So if you like working in the smaller scales, personally, I'm more of a 48 scale guy when I'm doing a single seater.
Right.
And this is only going to be maybe 10 centimeters or so long probably when you complete it, but it's going to be a very good looking 10 centimeters.
Indeed.
Yeah. And nice they have a variation coming out, right?
Yeah, I guess the one that the Commonwealth nations used, the Mark 6, Wildcat Mark 6, is coming with the British markings and whatnot. So it's coming next month, I believe. This is out now, of course. So
yeah, excellent. The new FM2 or F4F, if you prefer, although more accurately the FM2, from Arma Hobby. Absolutely highly recommended. Looks to be a great little kit.
Indeed.
Doink.
Oh, what we got left?
That big purple thing sitting in front of you.
Oh, yeah. It's got, what was the bike you mentioned before? The Honda, the super...
Oh, let me see if I can remember the name. The Honda CBR 1000, was it RR-R or Chi? Okay, I got to cheat and look. CBR 1000 RR-R Fireblade SP.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, that's too hard to say. Then we have an alternate for you. This is the King Chopper 2.
The King Chopper 2.
King Chopper 2. This is, you guys know Tom... You know Tom Daniels? You know Tom Daniels personally? No, I think he's from Michigan.
No.
Is he?
You're gonna have to help us here.
All right. Well, Tom Daniels was part of the car culture in the '60s and '70s. He was like a designer and a custom car builder and all that.
Did he do the Batmobile or something?
No, that would be George Barris, I believe.
That you know who did the Batmobile is pretty impressive, though.
Yeah. No, you guys knew George Barris. Okay, yeah. George Barris did the Batmobile, not Chuck Barris. That's the Gong Show.
Yes, I
almost said Chuck, that's why I'm bringing it up. No, George Barris. But yeah, along those lines, like who's the other guy? Ed Big Daddy Roth.
Okay, now that's a name I have heard.
Yeah. Or the guy's cars we saw at the Cruise Museum in Indiana a long time ago. What was that guy's? Carl Casper.
Okay, I've heard that name too.
Yeah, all part of the hot rod culture and all that kind of stuff. So Tom Daniel got hooked up with Monogram and did a lot of kits. I got some stuff around here too. That's all Tom Daniel stuff. But this is the latest from Atlantis models. I think if you've seen our show before, I've talked about Atlantis bringing back a lot of the old kits using the old tooling.
So this is, of course, a resurrected, decades-old tooling.
Right? Yes. Originally tooled in 1969 by Monogram.
Wow.
So it's pretty old.
Barely younger than me.
Yeah, same here. Now it's interesting. The original issue was called King Chopper, and had the similar box art and all that. But during its run at Monogram, the tooling was altered to create Satan's Cycle. Yes, Satan's Cycle. Tom Daniel's name was not attached to that project, but look it up.
Excuse me.
Look it up, Satan's Cycle. But the only difference really is the color was different, and it had different headlights. Now these headlights are square.
Right.
For Satan's Cycle, actually. Satan's Cycle had the square headlights. The original King Chopper had round headlights, I believe. But the King Chopper is much more well-known and had never been re-released, I don't think, and the molds were changed, so it never came out again. So Atlantis got the toolings for this, and it decided to call it King Chopper 2. Now, one thing that is carried on through all of these releases is the super cool Vulture. You get the Vulture that sits on the little system.
So there's like parts for this Vulture?
Oh yeah, let's check him out. He's purple too.
You're kidding.
You can paint him. We'll get to the Vulture first, but nice chrome parts. Yeah, these are nice chrome parts. And this is 1/8 scale, so it's pretty hefty.
Yeah,
it's
this thing's going to be pretty big when it builds up, isn't it?
Well, here's the, look at this. There's the, it's
oh
on.
my, yeah, the
It's
seat's really big.
Well, you know, think of a 1/8 scale figure, which is not that common of a scale for figures, but I keep thinking of the old NPC C-3PO. He was 1/8 scale. But yeah, here's the...
I'm not seeing a vulture.
He's right here. He's right here. Vulture is this big, if you can't see.
Yeah, there he is. Oh, you have to glue him together.
Well, it's a model. Of course you do. Interestingly, though, you also have to glue the tires together. Some kits of this vintage, the vinyl tires came in 2 pieces just because it was easier to mold, I guess. So the fat tires for the back are 2 pieces. Even the skinny front tire, it's a trike, by the way. It's a tricycle. Has 2 parts.
I don't think I have ever seen that before.
Oh, yeah. And got some cool King Chopper decals. He used to say decals. That's an old HobbyLink.
We're Americans. We're supposed to say decals.
Yeah, these decals go in there. Good Lord. Yep.
Well, that is an amusing.
It is cool.
This is just a concept thing or a design that was actually built, right?
I don't know. Did they actually build one here? It's bad. It's boss, and it's big. King Chopper 2 is the grooviest 3-wheeler ever seen. Let's see. Real rubber. Doesn't say on here. It
doesn't say if it was actually built or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It
calls it a show bike. So if you don't build one, it's kind of hard to show it. I bet it existed.
Yeah.
I bet it actually.
Let's say it existed. We'll check it out later. Probably should have checked it out first, but still, anyway. Super cool, and this is available now, 1/8 scale. So keep your eye on Atlantis if you like old toolings like I do. I mean, check out my shirt, Godzilla's Go-Kart. This is '66 Aurora, Godzilla's Go-Kart.
That you have a T-shirt of.
I do have a T-shirt of this. Got some other T-shirts too. I'll present them at a later time. But yeah, keep an eye on Atlantis because they make a lot of cool old stuff. Kind of like me, cool and old, hopefully. Anyway.
Yeah.
Chopper, King Chopper 2. All right.
Alrighty. Well, while we're on this old theme, we'll bring out the oldest subject matter by far today. Ta-da! It's the monitor. What was that again? Wasn't something monitor Merrimack? It's somewhere in the history books, and I seem to remember hearing about it. Yeah. The Monitor was actually the first ship in the history of naval warfare to be purpose-built as an ironclad. Not at purpose-built, but it initially built and designed as an ironclad ship.
Because the Merrimack or
the Merrimack/Virginia was modified.
Right.
Yeah, based on, I think didn't they steal it?
The Virginia.
And then they modified it. But yeah, so this is it looks more like a submarine than a ship, but this is actually a ship. But yeah, it looks to me, every time I see it, it looks like a submarine that's surfaced and it's just getting some air or something. But yeah, this is a kit of the Monitor by
Micromere.
Micromere, okay.
Which means what? Small world, micro world, or something?
Micro world, okay. Nice box art, painted by Alina Stanilevich, I guess. Nice work there.
Small dream.
Now here's the interesting thing: the hull comes in 2 pieces.
Oh. Front and back?
Yeah, it's like a front and back. This is the bottom piece of the hull here. This whole ship, I wish we had oh, here it is.
It's a schematic.
It was really thin, very, very thin vessel. If I recall my history correctly, when the Monitor and the Merrimack/Virginia were slugging it out, basically it was kind of a tie or an inconclusive engagement.
Bounce.
Where neither one could really hurt the other significantly. And then they never fought again, and the Monitor was like, you said it was being towed. I couldn't remember that it was being towed, but
moving up north.
It was like got caught in a storm and it just sank or something, right? Yeah. But yeah, two very historic ships. This is, of course, one of the pair. The Monitor being, again, the first steel-clad or ironclad, as they called it then, ship designed that way from the get-go in the history of ships. So very important piece of history. And it's kind of hard to judge how good the tooling is based on the way they've packed it here, because we really can't see anything. But there are lots of nicely molded rivets here. So
rivets was the thing back then.
Yeah, so if they've done the rest of it as well as they've done the parts that we can see here, it should build up very nicely into an accurate representation of this very historic ship.
Cool. Well, that was when? I got it written down here, 1862.
Yeah, it would have been the middle of the Civil War. It was like the middle of the Civil War when they slugged it out. So yeah. Actually, it's more early Civil War, isn't it? About 62?
62 is pretty early, yeah.
Yeah, it's early in the Civil War.
Yep. Interesting.
So is that it?
Oh, one more thing.
One more thing.
I think I got it right here. Almost forgot. Also from Micromere, but this is not so micro.
Oh boy.
And micro this time. Shun.
What? Look out.
Do we have? We don't have any room here. What? And does it fit in the camera?
I think it does.
Okay, now this is...
It doesn't fit in my brain, though. I have no idea what this is.
Look at this thing. This is the Kalinin K-7. Not the K-7 space station for you Star Trek fans, but K-7. Kalinin. It's large.
It's like a spruce goose, but it's not. It's like just this huge...
Well, it's Russian.
Fill us in here. It's Russian, and it's a bomber?
Well, it has
this size.
Military aspirations and also some civil aspirations. It's going to be like a civil aircraft as well. With what I think you were mentioning, you could sit in the wings. Had space for passengers in the wings.
This isn't a seaplane, is it?
No. These are just spats over the...
Giant spats with guys with machine guns in the front?
In the spats, yes. That's right there. It had, what, 6 obvious engines and... What, another one pushing it? You can't really see here.
And like an observer or something out in the airstream here?
Yes, well, it was the 30s.
So this is from the 1930s. So it's an interwar aircraft?
Yeah. It was designed in 1930, I think, and first flew in. We have notes.
Oh.
And first flew
Okay, let's cheat.
I know it was in the 1930s. So 1930s was started and...
finished in 1933.
First flight was 38. The Hatsuhiko was in 1938.
All right, so 1938. Or August of 1933. Okay.
And then crashed in November of that same year.
Killing 15 people.
And one on the ground? Is that the thing?
It just says here, it says 15 people killed. It doesn't say what the breakdown was.
And in 1935, they just said, nah, we're done.
So they built one.
One, but it's enough. Look at this thing.
Okay.
One is enough.
One is enough. And actually, one may be more than enough for most budgets. How much did you tell me this thing goes for?
Well, it's a cool 52,900 yen.
Oh, so that's only 500 US dollars
ish, but but it's a mix. It's
how could you go wrong?
It's injection molded plastic parts.
Holy cow!
As you see here, that's the wing. That's I think an FRP piece.
Yeah.
Is it open upable?
You can almost have passengers seated in this scale.
Comes with a little pillow too.
Wow.
Clear parts, photo etched. It's got this is nice. This thing has, if you saw the box art, lots of windows, and you get lots of pre-cut masks, painting masks for the windows. So that's nice.
And bubble wrap.
And bubble wrap, Bob too, because of the stress of putting together such a large aircraft. So yeah, this is large. Did you see how big this wing is? This is a large wing. So the wing is most of it, and the fuselage is all these box parts that you would have to put together here. So. Yeah, if a big failed Russian bomber / civil aviation subjects are your thing, and you got $500-ish laying around, then this is highly recommended.
Wow.
The Kalinin K-7. Oh, the box goes together so satisfyingly nice there. So yeah.
For $500, it better be a good box.
Yes, you would expect. So Kalinin K-7.
So here's an interesting thing I just noticed. Of the items that we covered today, Brian.
Yes.
The Kalinin K-7, the King Chopper 2.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's true for this guy, but it's probably close to being true. And also for the Monitor.
Yes.
Of all these items, only one of them actually ever existed. Am I right? Or was this, or did this see, were there's like a lot of these?
No, there's 2.
Oh, 2.
There was two.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. This was just a prototype. This was a show thing.
But that's like a mass produced.
That's mass produced. But yeah,
these are all obviously very mass produced.
Yes.
Items,
this would be the only thing that actually went into action and served its purpose.
It actually fired its gun in anger.
Yes, fired its gun in anger. Yes, it was. It did what it was supposed to do.
This is truly the golden age of plastic models. If we're getting kits of all these things that actually almost barely didn't exist in the first place.
72nd Kalinin K-7. Who thought? Who would have thought?
And mostly injection plastic.
Yeah. So this is a good array of stuff.
Yeah. Well, finally, like I said at the beginning of the show, we finally have gotten past the hump, it seems, on the delays in production related to the coronavirus pandemic.
Yes.
With manufacturing being delayed and shows being screwed up and all of that. And we're starting to get a steady stream of products. So hopefully we can do another one of these shows for you guys in less than 3 weeks to a month. Hopefully we can get one out if the product keeps coming in much sooner than that. But that was fun. So just to close out here today, Brian, pick one. What would you build?
What would I build?
We're assuming, of course, you have the time.
Oh, which one would I build? I'm gonna have to go with, if I had the money. If I had the money, I would go with the Kalinin.
You would build the Kalinin?
I would build the Kalinin because it is just pretty awesome. I mean, look at it. Who doesn't want to build this thing? Kalinin first, and then of course I'd have to go with
oh,
King
okay.
Chopper.
I thought you were going to go there. I thought for sure you were going there, but
well, different mindsets. How about you? What would you go for?
Oh, it's for me hands down probably the FM2. Yeah, I'm an airplane guy, man, and this looks so nicely detailed. But if you said no, pick something else, I'd probably go with that Warrior. The Warrior. That slat armor looks kind of cool.
It is cool. It is cool.
So I'd probably go with that. But
sweet. Well, everything here is cool.
Alrighty, but we've all got a closet full of other things to build too.
That we do.
Which of course, I should never say, since we're both kind of in the business of selling these things. So.
Well, I buy a lot too.
Yeah,
we
all do. It's a disease.
Yes.
All right.
Keeps the world going.
All right, guys. Speaking of disease, again, stay safe out there.
Yep.
It's a crazy world that we're in these days, but at least for a lot of people, there's plenty of time to build plastic models. So get out that glue, get out that art knife, and let's do it. See you guys next time.
See ya. See you next time.